Hey guys, Siptesh here. Welcome back to the channel. So the sales have started, Flipkart Big Billion Day and Amazon Great Indian Festival. So here I am with the best possible deals on smartphones and tablets. Now I should have made this video earlier, but honestly guys, I was super busy. Even over the weekend, I had production deployment and whatnot. I was getting requests in the comments as well, but yeah, sorry I'm late. And this video is not the best produced video, so it is what it is. Also guys, remember, these are my choices. Okay, I'm not affiliated to any brand. There is no sponsorship on my channel, like uh, but I would recommend you guys to watch other channels as well. Also, I'm going to recommend a good amount of devices because not all devices are perfect. So I'm just going to guide you towards this set of device, and I would recommend you guys to watch dedicated videos for those devices to make the perfect choice. Because I'm telling you guys, no device is perfect. And to make this list, it took me quite a bit of time because every device has some quirks, some negatives, some deal breaker. But I tried my best. I put the devices together, which I feel are the most worth it, had the least amount of compromises for every price segment. So, uh, watch this video till the end, and I would recommend you guys to do some further research, watch some more detailed reviews on those devices. And if you have any doubt, comment down below. We'll be there to discuss and give my opinion. Also guys, if you wish to support the channel, then please consider purchasing these phones from the affiliate links given in the description. If you purchase from those links, I get a small commission without any extra cost to you, and that's what helps this channel to stay alive. All right, guys, with that said, let's get right into the video. All right, guys, so first we'll start with the sub 10,000 rupees price range. So I'm trying to keep the phones as close to 10,000 rupees as possible. So we've got the Realme P3x 5G, the POCO M6 Plus 5G, and the Motorola G45 5G. So the Realme and the POCO are 6 120GB models. I'm not recommending any phone with 4GB of RAM in 2025. So just forget about it. Okay, while the Moto G45 is the 8 128GB model. Okay, so among these three phones, I prefer the Motorola G45 because of that 8GB of RAM, and also I just like stock Android, guys. To be honest, when the phone is cheap, I prefer to have the lightest possible software. So it has stock Android, okay, and it also has support for custom ROMs. I've already checked it. I think there is already Android 16 AOSP based custom ROM for Motorola G45. Plus, you have good support for GCam, and overall the phone is also quite good. I recommend this phone to almost every parent out there who's looking for a simple phone. This is a no-nonsense phone. It has a Snapdragon 6S Gen 3, which is basically a rebranded Snapdragon 695 with a slightly higher clock speed. So yeah, you can go for that. And the POCO M6 Plus is the only phone that is truly under 10,000 rupees, so 9,500 rupees with all these discounts applied. And yeah, Snapdragon, I think 4 Gen 2 accelerated, something like that. Okay. Uh, yeah, I don't have any, I think this is one of the, I mean, this can be the best phone under 10,000 rupees if you are okay with whatever HyperOS is running on this. And it has one of the shockingly largest camera sensors in this price range. And like, it has a 1 over 1.67 inch main sensor, which is just crazy for this price. So yeah, it is a Snapdragon phone. You can install GCam and optimize this sensor to the best. So the POCO M6 Plus and the Motorola G45, choose among these two. Moving on to sub 15,000 rupees price range, and here again I'm trying to keep the price at around 12,000 rupees to 15,000 rupees price range. So for this I've got the Redmi Note 14 Standard Edition with an AMOLED display, 12,349 rupees with card discounts. I've got the Motorola G96 for this price, I think 14,249 rupees. The 8 128GB model, guys, remember that. Then you've got the OPPO K13 with the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3, 6 Gen 4, my bad. Okay, this is probably the most powerful processor in this price segment, Snapdragon 6 Gen 4, and also the Realme P3, okay, which also has the Snapdragon 6 Gen 4. Now, it's a pretty competitive price segment over here. The Note 14 SE is the cheapest, so if you just cannot stretch your budget, this is your budget, then you can go for this. But if you can stretch your budget all the way to 15,000 rupees price range, then you've got like these three options. Motorola, you've got this OPPO, K13, and the Realme. Now, among these three phones, the Motorola has probably the most balanced set of features. Uh, it has got the largest camera sensor. I think it has got a 1 over 1.57-inch main sensor, which is quite large, and it also has a Snapdragon processor. So if you're interested in emulation, Gcam mods, and all those things, you can try it out on this phone. Uh, so it is actually quite confusing. I would recommend you guys watch some reviews and compare detailed specs of these three phones. It is uh, you know pretty complex. Okay, the OPPO K13 and the Realme P3, these two are like very similar phones. I think the Realme P3 has a better, brighter display, 2000 nits peak brightness, and it also has IP69. Let me check real quick. Yep, it has got IP69, 6000 mAh battery. And the OPPO K13 is also no slouch. It has a 7000 mAh battery, so a larger battery, but it has a IP65 rating. Okay, so just compare and contrast. Just watch the reviews. I would recommend watch some detailed specs between these two, and then choose it. So I would recommend these, four phones: Redmi 14, Redmi Note 14 SE, Moto G96, OPPO K13, and the Realme B3. Okay, moving on to the sub 20,000 rupees price range. Again, I'm trying to keep phones just around the 20,000 rupees price, exact price. So starting with the Nothing Phone 3A, which is a Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. I know it's a pretty old processor, but it is just about enough to drive this Nothing OS. It's a pretty clean OS. Nothing OS is one of the USP of Nothing phones. The Nothing OS, it has a 50 megapixel 2x telephoto lens, and the sensor is actually not bad. It's actually pretty decent, 1 over 2.76-inch sensor with an f2.0 aperture, and it also has a pretty large 1 over 1.57-inch main sensor. So the Nothing Phone 3A is a pretty balanced phone. It has a good UI. Okay, the pricing is pretty spot on, I would say. Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 is just about enough, okay, not it is getting long in the tooth right now, but it is just about enough for, you know taking you through decent user experience. Okay, moving on, you have got the POCO X7 Pro 5G. This is the fastest phone in this price range with the Dimensity, I think 84 Ultra, something like that, right? Yeah, Dimensity 8400 Ultra. Okay, it's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. So this phone is easily recommended, not just to gamers. Obviously, it's most suited for gaming. It's easily the fastest phone in this price segment, but also it is a pretty well-known phone. UFS 4.0 storage. Okay, I think it's got IP69, a large 6550 milliamp hour battery. So it's just that it's got a MediaTek processor, so it is going to be hard for you to find a Google camera mod. Typically Poco phones, they can, leverage Google camera mod to make their cameras like outstanding. That's what I do with my Poco F7. You can make their cameras like outstanding with Gcam mod, but this is a MediaTek phone, so it's going to be a little hard for you to get a Google camera mod. I would recommend searching for it, but otherwise, this phone is an insane, deal for this price range. Highly recommend. Probably the best one in this price range. Next, we have got the Realme P4 Pro. Now, the Realme P4 Pro has a Snapdragon 7 Gen 4, which is significantly worse than the MediaTek 8400 Ultra. But again, if you are into emulation, you can go for this phone because Snapdragon phones, they have that inherent advantage when it comes to drivers and all those things. It also has a better, camera sensor. The Sony IMX896 is a better sensor than what we have on the POCO X7 Pro. Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 is not bad. Okay, it is still pretty good, like over 1 million in the 1 million score in Antutu. All right, and it's this display. The Realme P4 Pro has a display which can go up to 6500 nits peak brightness in HDR. So this is going to be amazing for HDR content consumption. I have had experience with Realme phones in the past. The Realme GT 60, I think I had experience with, and it had an incredible display for HDR, super bright. Okay, so yeah, this is again another option. This is not going to be the best when it comes to performance. For performance, again, I'm saying it's the POCO. But if you want kind of a balanced phone between the Nothing phone and the POCO, you want the Snapdragon processor, and you also want a decent camera setup, then you can go for the Realme P4 Pro. But otherwise, if you want the best camera setup, then you can go for the Nothing Phone 3A. If you want the best performance, you can go for the POCO X7 Pro. Moving on, we have got the sub 25,000 rupees price range. Again, I'm trying to keep the price in around 25,000 rupees with discount. So we've got the Motorola Edge 60 Pro. This could have been one of the best phones, mid-range phones, guys, but I was so disappointed with this phone. I mean, I am recommending this phone, but this could have been so much better than what it is. I have made a video, you can watch it, where I showed how Motorola downgraded a lot of unexpected features of the Moto Edge 50 Pro to make this phone. Yeah, still I'm recommending it. Still one of the best because the Moto Edge 50 Pro had a very small battery and a pretty, substandard SoC. So just for those two upgrades, we lost a lot of things. But anyway, still I would recommend the Moto Edge 60 Pro at 23,749 rupees. I think it is justified. This price is good. I wouldn't have recommended this at 30,000 rupees, but at this price, I can recommend it. Okay. Okay. Moving on. We have the iQOO Neo 10R. Okay. One of the best balanced phone in this price range. Snapdragon 8s Gen 3. If you want something with the best performance in this price range, go for this. It is an easy recommendation. If you're into BGMI and all that, you can go for this. It has got a great battery life, 6400 mAh battery plus, very good battery life. So yeah, you can go for the iQOO Neo 10R, 3,000 rupees coupon. And I think on top of that, you've got some cash back if you have an Amazon ICICI credit card. So this thing will easily come under 28,000 rupees. So you can go for the iQOO Neo 10R, one of the best options in this price range. And finally, I will also recommend the OnePlus Nord 4, guys. If you want to use, if you want to have access to Oxygen OS, you I would kind of recommend the OnePlus Nord 4 even, today. You also have lifetime display warranty, so no fear from green line. Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3 is almost the same as an 8s Gen 3. There is very little difference between the two, like 5 to 7% difference. Okay. So yeah, I would still recommend the OnePlus Nord 4. The camera performance is also a bit better than the iQOO Neo 10R. And OnePlus has advantage of unlock bootloader, routing, and all those things. The final phone that I want to recommend you guys is the Vivo T4 Pro. It's got a Snapdragon 7 Gen 4, which is a huge upgrade over Snapdragon 7s Gen 3. Okay. Now, the advantage of the Vivo T4 Pro is that it has the best periscope zoom in this price range. Okay. The Sony IMX882 is a pretty big sensor if you count it as a telephoto sensor, because it's got a 1 over 1.95 inch sensor size. So this thing has the best zoom performance in this price range. The 8128 model will be just around 20,000 rupees, and the 8256 model is just over 20,000 rupees. But yeah, so it is a bit challenging. So the Vivo T4 Pro, the main advantage, like I told you, it's the telephoto sensor. So if you're not much interested in the telephoto sensor, I would then recommend you to go for the Moto H60 Pro, because the sensors and the camera on the Moto H60 Pro is better than the Vivo T4 Pro. The T4 Pro sensors are a little bit weaker. The other sensors, the main sensor and the ultra wide is weaker on the T4 Pro. Whereas the Moto has a pretty balanced set of sensors. Only the zoom is a little bit weak, but still during the daytime you're gonna have a decent experience. Okay. All right. Now moving on to the sub 30,000 rupees price segment. Now here again I have kept phones from 30,000 rupees all the way to 35,000 rupees odd. So here, I mean, very easy recommendation. POCO F7 12 256 gigabyte for 30,000 rupees with all these card discounts applied. This is one of the best POCO phones in the last couple of generations. I would say probably the best in my opinion. Full glass metal build, IP69, Snapdragon 8s Gen 4, 12 256 gigabyte in the base model. Okay, a very good display, great performance, superb battery life, 7,550 milliampere battery. The battery life is just amazing. Okay. Camera performance out of the box may not be satisfactory to some people, even though it is actually not that bad. But with a Gcam mode, I have made a video. With my Gcam mode configuration, you can get some outstanding images out of the main sensor on the POCO F7, even the ultra wide sensor. So this is a very easy recommendation from my end. The POCO F7, very, very easy recommendation. I have done detailed review on the POCO F7. You can go watch my channel. So yeah, POCO F7, 1000% recommended in this price range. Moving on to the iQOO Neo 10, I have also have detailed comparison videos with the POCO F7 on my channel. Now, The iQOO Newton initially was more expensive than the POCO F7, like decently more expensive, 2000 rupees more expensive, I think so. But now on the sale, the price is basically the same with the discounts applied, you know. Uh, but I've used this phone, okay. It is not a bad phone. It is a very well balanced phone, just like the POCO F7. But after using it, I must say the only reason you would buy the iQOO Newton over the POCO F7 is because you would need the best performance in BGMI. If you are a esports gamer and you are very much invested into BGMI, then you may get the iQOO Newton because it has access to 120 FPS frame rate cap, which the POCO F7 doesn't have. Moving on, we have the Vivo T4 Ultra. Now, this thing has a Dimensity 9300 Plus, which is basically equivalent to a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and 8s Gen 4, similar performance actually. Okay, but this thing has probably the best camera setup in this price range, entire price range. The main sensor is 1 over 1.56 inch, and the telephoto is also 1 over 1.95 inch. So basically, in terms of an overall balanced phone, the Vivo T4 Ultra is a great choice. 32,000 rupees for the 8 256GB model. Great camera performance. The performance itself, the phone's performance, SoC performance is also very good, 9300 plus. Okay, but again, it will not have the versatility of Snapdragon processors. Like emulation is not going to be as strong. Okay, Gcam mod. Like if you are somehow unsatisfied with the camera of the Vivo T4 Ultra, because I know Vivo phones can, they tend to over sharpen a lot. I've seen it in my experience. The Vivo X200 FE, I reviewed it. I reviewed the iQOO 13 as well, the Newton as well. All of the phones, Vivo iQOO, they tend to over sharpen a lot. Okay. And if you don't have a Snapdragon processor, then it's difficult to install Gcam. So that is a thing that you should keep in mind. But otherwise, if you don't want to tinker with all those things, then the Vivo T4 Ultra is going to be a very good option, a very well balanced option in this price range. Good performance, great cameras by default, like good battery life and everything. Moving on, we have the OnePlus 13R. Everybody knows about the OnePlus 13R. I don't need to speak too much. 35,000 rupees for this phone. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Probably the best phone for emulation in this price range. If you're into emulation, PC, Nintendo Switch emulation, the OnePlus 13R is a very easy recommendation from my end. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is very well optimized with turnip drivers right now. So, if you're into emulation performance, you would absolutely go for the OnePlus 13R. Also, it has a very good UI. Oxygen OS runs like buttery smooth on the OnePlus 13R. The camera performance is also decent. A lot of people same thing like the POCO F7, right? A lot of people tell the POCO F7 has really bad cameras, but it is really not that bad actually. I have done a lot of comparisons on my channel. Similarly, the 13R is also not that bad. It also has a 2x optical zoom camera. But again, OnePlus phone has great compatibility with Gcam mod, so you can try to optimize it more with Gcam mod. But yeah, 13R, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. This phone I primarily recommend for the best emulation performance for Switch and Windows. And I would also recommend it for a great Oxygen OS experience. And finally, we moving on, we have the Realme GT7. If you want the best performance oriented phone in this price range, buy this phone with your eyes closed. Dimensity 9400E. This thing is going to be the best performance oriented phone in this price range. If we are talking about Android native gaming, like native Android games, then the Realme GT7 is going to be your best bet in this price range. 35,000 rupees with SBI credit card, the same price as the OnePlus 13R. The OnePlus 13R has its own advantages with Snapdragon, but if you want the best performance in this price range, undoubtedly go for the Realme GT7. I have no doubt in my mind. This is going to be the best performance oriented phone for native Android gaming, no doubt. Alright, moving on to the sub 40,000 rupees price range, so around 40 to 45,000 rupees. The Realme GT7 Pro is a fantastic recommendation, selling for just 42,749 rupees. Just unbelievable deal. This was the first Snapdragon 8 Elite phone in India, I believe. The price was very high at that point. It was 60,000 rupees, but at 42,749, this is a fantastic deal. Okay. I would actually recommend this thing over the iQOO 13 if you're into performance, because again, iQOO phones, they are unpredictable. You never know, apart from BGMI, which game it will perform and which game it will not choose to perform. That is a very big conundrum that you will have once you buy an iQOO phone. So I'm telling you, the GT7 Pro is going to be an exceptional choice. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabyte storage, a pretty good camera, guys. Not a bad camera. The ultra wide is pretty poor, 8 megapixel. I know that, but the 3x and the main sensor are pretty good. Not bad. Actually, just as good as the iQOO 13, if not better. I mean, the telephoto on the Realme is better, whereas the ultra wide is better on the iQOO 13. But I prefer telephoto over ultra wide any day of the week. So the Realme GT7 Pro just at this price range is just excellent. It's going to be the best performance oriented phone, whether it is native Android gaming or whether it is emulation, Windows emulation, not Switch emulation. This is going to be an excellent deal. The biggest disappointment that I had with the Realme GT7 Pro at this price range, especially at 6,000 rupees, was it only has USB 2, which was a very disappointing thing to see. I would have loved if this thing would have had a USB 3.0 Type-C port with display output, but alas, Snapdragon 8 Elite but a USB 2.0 port. This is the main con of the Realme GT7 Pro. But otherwise, guys, if you don't care about that, you should care about it. But if you don't care about that, this is an exceptional deal at this price range. 100% go for it. Okay. Then we have the OnePlus 13s Snapdragon 8 Elite. I have used this phone a few weeks ago. I had posted a gaming comparison with my Xiaomi 15. And guys, the OnePlus 13s is actually one of probably top two best compact phones. I would actually put this above the Vivo X200 FE. Because guys, in my opinion, I don't find the Vivo X200 FE that much more special compared to the much cheaper Vivo T4 Ultra. Okay. Whereas the OnePlus 13s has a very clear set of priorities: be compact and be the best performing compact phone available. And it definitely serves that purpose. Okay, I have used this phone, excellent UI, very compact form factor, great battery life, performance is top notch despite being a compact phone. Um, Camera performance is not bad with the main sensor, 1.56-inch sensor, and the telephoto as well is, I mean, it is only 2x, but it is not bad. Like, you can't say it's bad, okay? And yeah, you can also install Gcam mod to improve the quality. And obviously, this is a OnePlus phone. It is pretty easy to unlock its bootloader and tinker with it. But yeah, the OnePlus 13s is top 2 best compact phone, top 1 being the Xiaomi 15. Alright guys, finally we're moving on to the very expensive range phones. Like, these are phones which I am hesitant to recommend because these are so expensive. Because think about it guys, you're spending this much money on a goddamn phone. Anyways, the iQOO 13 selling for 51,000 rupees with card discounts. I have detailed review of the iQOO 13. This was the first 8 Elite phone that I purchased. I had reviewed it at the beginning of the year. Detailed reviews. I've done a bunch of reviews. It is a good phone, guys. Great display, excellent build quality. Like, it's built like a tank. Okay, USB 3 with DisplayPort support and a Snapdragon 8 Elite. Now the problem is also fantastic battery life. Okay, and also super fast charging and all those things. But the problem that I faced with the iQOO 13 was the camera performance, especially at night, was absolutely disgusting. So, like, extremely over sharpened images. Like, if you watch those images on a big screen like I watch, that will hurt your eyes. It is so over sharpened. Okay, and the performance. You might be surprised. What are you talking about? iQOO 13 has great performance. I mean, it has great performance, no doubt, but it is very unpredictable. You never know what game it is going to perform and what game it is not going to perform. It is going to perform immaculately in BGMI, but in typical iQOO fashion, you never know how it is going to perform in other games. I have experienced this, and after using the iQOO 13, I now realize, like, I have used OnePlus 13 8 Elite, I have used Xiaomi 15 8 Elite, I have used OnePlus 13s 8 Elite. After using all of these phones, I realized that the iQOO 13 never provided the best 8 Elite performance that it could. This phone, it just doesn't perform consistently. You never know which game it is going to perform, which game it is not going to perform. That is a big issue that I had with the iQOO 13. So if not the iQOO 13, then we have the OnePlus 13, guys. Snapdragon 8 Elite, one of the best. I mean, what to say? I have used a lot of phones this year, guys. The OnePlus 13 is going to be my pick for the phone of the year till now. Okay, this phone is incredibly well rounded compared to the iQOO 13. The OnePlus 13 has a better UI, camera performance is overall, small things add up to make it a much better camera experience than the iQOO 13, especially low light. The OnePlus 13 has a much better image processing, uh, you know, technique, not over sharpened. Portrait mode on the OnePlus 13 is excellent using the 3x camera. Okay, lifetime display warranty for green line protection. Fantastic performance, better performance than the iQOO 13, more consistent, more predictable performance compared to the iQOO 13. The OnePlus 13 is my choice for the phone of the year. And I would definitely pick this over the over the iQOO 13. If you are like spending 52,000 rupees on a phone, right? 51,000 rupees on a phone, I would recommend you guys to push yourself a little more and get the OnePlus 30. So, you guys, those were my recommendations for smartphones. And you may be wondering, what about the Xiaomi 15, right? I mean, the Xiaomi 15 is my daily driver, and why am I not recommending it? Actually, it's not like I am not recommending it. It's just that I feel this phone is very expensive. Okay, right now it is 65,000 rupees, and it is going to be available for 60,000 rupees with discount. But like 60,000 rupees is too much to pay for a phone. I bought this phone for review purposes. You know, otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it. Like, I'm not spending this much money on any phone, no matter how good it is. Okay, this is make no mistake. The Xiaomi 15 is the best compact phone. Okay, like this thing is a compact phone but has features of a full flagship. Like large camera sensors, large battery. This thing also has 8 elite, which are missing from Vivo X200 FE. This thing also has a 5200 milliampere battery, which is missing from Galaxy S25. This thing also has USB 3.2 Gen 1 port with DisplayPort support, which is missing from both OnePlus 13s and X200 FE. So this is the best compact phone. No matter, like, no phone is perfect, and neither is this phone. Even the Xiaomi 15 has issues, but make no mistake, this is the best compact phone that you can get. I mean, not just the best compact phone. This is one of the best phones that you can get, in this price range. But it is very expensive. 65,000 rupees, guys. You have to be crazy to spend that much money on a phone. Even the OnePlus 13 is very expensive, but at least it is selling for 58,000 rupees, and it's a big phone. This is a small phone, remember that. So, content watching experience on the Xiaomi 15 isn't as good as the OnePlus 13. You need a big screen for that. So, that's why I am a little bit hesitant to recommend the Xiaomi 15 openly. But remember, this is the best compact phone that you can buy. I'm just going to end it at that. Alright guys, we're not going to stop at smartphones. Moving on to tablets real quick. The Xiaomi Pad 7 is the best tablet deal currently in the sale. The 128GB model is selling for just how much? Like 20,000 rupees, 21,000 rupees, I think so. Okay. But I would recommend you guys to take the 256GB variant. Okay. Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3, excellent build quality, super fast performance, very good display. I mean, the best possible normal IPS display is present in this tablet. Okay. Selling for 24,000 rupees plus 6,000 rupees for their Xiaomi Focus Pen. So 30,000 rupees is going to be something which you're going to have to invest in this phone on this tablet to get a full experience with the pen and everything. But it is absolutely worth it, guys. 4 plus 6 years of support. Easily is going to be easily my recommendation for budget tablet. Moving on, we have the OnePlus Pad 2 with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 selling for 31,000 rupees. Again, amazing value, great screen quality for an LCD. Okay, not comparable to OLED. Remember that. Performance is top notch. Okay, I really like the three-way multitasking that you have on OnePlus tablets. Okay, this thing also has USB 3 with DisplayPort support, and so does the Xiaomi Pad 7. The Xiaomi Pad 7 also has USB 3 with DisplayPort support, but unfortunately, both of these OnePlus Tab and Xiaomi Pad 7 is only limited to screen mirroring. So I hope one day we will get the desktop mode that is introduced with Android 16, we will not get unless Google pushes that update to AOSP. So that is a separate topic, but it's unfortunate that these two tablets are only limited to screen mirroring. With external desktop mode, these two tablets are going to be incredible, like even more incredible. Okay, now moving on, we have the OnePlus Pad 3, the most performance-oriented tablet in India currently. Snapdragon 8 Elite selling for 41,000 rupees with card discounts. Excellent tablet for performance. If you're into gaming performance, if you want to do emulation, if you're a hardcore emulation enthusiast, this the OnePlus Pad 3 is going to be an amazing choice for you. And also, obviously, native Android gaming will be incredible. So, I mean, I don't have much to say about this tablet, guys. Now, finally, the final tablet that I'm going to recommend you is the good old Galaxy Tab S9 with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy, selling for 42,000 rupees. This is not the cheapest price that this tablet has sold, because I myself purchased this tablet at 40,000 rupees, and a lot of people have purchased it for even like 35,000 rupees or so. Okay, so this is not the cheapest price, but regardless, this is still the best overall tablet in my opinion in India still now, because this thing has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is still plenty fast in my opinion. Okay, it has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabyte of storage, but the storage can be expanded. It has a memory card slot, so if you for media content and all those things, you can store that. But the biggest advantage of this tablet is the fact that this has a super AMOLED display. You cannot compare this display with any of the other displays that I mentioned, no matter how, you know, sharp those are, like 3.2K on the OnePlus Pad and the Xiaomi Pad 7, okay, 12-bit and whatnot. But you just cannot compare those panels with the Super AMOLED panel on this tablet. If you are into content consumption, this thing is easily the best choice still now in India, because there are no other tablets with OLED displays in this price range. Okay, so we are still waiting for that to come. And S Pen comes in the box, excellent S Pen. Okay, the UI is excellent. External desktop mode, Samsung Dex is excellent. So yeah, basically, if you want the best, most functional tablet with the best display, then this is going to be your choice even in late 2025, because there is no other tablet with external desktop mode and an OLED display. So that was it for my recommendations, guys. I know it can be pretty confusing. It took me a considerable amount of time to, sort this out. And it is not easy, guys, because it can be quite confusing to find phones and tablets. I would still recommend to research a bit. I have given you all the deals. I would still recommend to research a bit to fine tune and find the small differences, because it can make a difference, guys, at the end of the day. So yeah, those are my recommendations, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider purchasing those from the links in the description. When you purchase from those affiliate links, I get a small commission without any extra cost to you. So um uh, that's what helps keeps the channel alive. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Take care. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.